Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you're well. And as always, we got to talk about the uncomfortable topics, the uncomfortable issues that we're all having. And we're not actually solving anything by saying, like, oh, this is an aggression problem, or this is a mental health problem, or this is an economic problem. We're not solving anything. We all know this. But we say it over and over again because we see the adults saying it, and they're like, "No, keep your voice down. Don't rile up the racists. Don't rile up the whatevers and shit." And you're starting to see that the collective of these people, like the Sikhs, the Pakistanis, now the cops too. Apparently, the cops are still harassing me. The Toronto cops are still harassing me. Apparently, they're trying to run up on me and intimidate me and shit. So let's touch back on that thing. So before, like, well, subsequently after I made that video talking about the Toronto police are pedophiles and shit, the shit came out about them going to Spain and raping that prostitute and shit, right? So, what do you mean by raping a prostitute? Isn't that their job? Well, let me explain. Like, they wanted to have group sex with her, and she said no. And then she said she probably wanted to leave, and they were probably humiliated and shit. So the two cops in the back started punching her and shit. And then the other Turkish cop decided to, like, just keep driving the car, not like do anything about it. And this is the kind of police force that you have: gang rapists, right? Much like the Sikhs, right? Like when you see Henry Novak pinned on the ground, like before any of this happened, and then the guy's explanation and the look on his face, it's almost as if he's comforted. He's relieved. Oh my God, this guy's drunk. Thank you, officer, for helping me out. He keeps falling over and stuff. He's not stabbed or like bleeding out or anything. I didn't try to rob him. No, he's drunk clearly. My mother would never hide the murder. Shit, dog. Like, how fucking retarded do you have to be to constantly make up fucking shit in your head? And even like, okay, there's these 2 points that I want to bring up, right? Which is Asmongold basically touched on this too, and it's not the knife crime, right? It's something that like everybody knows about it, and he was just generalizing about it because I guess he didn't want to come off as being racist and blah blah blah. And disclaimer: I don't speak for the guy. I've never met him. I don't talk to him, etc., etc. That being said, from my point of view, if I were to analyze this from a more moderate position, like Asmongold's position, I would say that they're right. They're absolutely right. Not just Asmongold in his assertion, but also the people who live there. It's like you're living with a bunch of people who don't like your country, who get intimidated by the idea of you raising the St. George flag. And let's be honest, it's because it's a Christian symbol, it's a Catholic symbol, right? It's a symbol of the Crusades or whatever the fuck you want to get, chalk it up to. But it's an ancient symbol. It's a symbol that predates the Crusades, if I'm not mistaken. It's a house that was christened by I forget which king. They had so many. I remember there's this one, and it was like Henry VII. He like killed his wives for. Okay, okay, I'm getting off topic, right? But like, you know what I mean, right? Like it goes back to, ancient times, medieval times, and stuff. Like it doesn't mean just the Crusades. It was their coat of arms, if you will. Now, to get intimidated by that and to not know the history behind it, like I know the history behind it, right? And you could argue, oh, I have like a more than a desirable interest in like medieval stuff. Like check out Kill Knight. Yo, this is one of these games that has like kind of music that like you hear it and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then you hear it again, you're like, wait a minute, I'm just gonna turn like the sound effects down to like 50%, and you just jam to it. Like not this one. I think it was like track 2 or 3. And it's like a huge like fucking headbanger or shit, whatever you want to call it. At least for me. But yeah, like I like the aesthetics of knights, of medieval stuff, samurais, ninjas, all that, right? And no, now that I know what the Saint George symbol means. I've seen it before too. Like I was passing by like bars and pubs and stuff in Georgetown, like a place up here in past Mississauga. So it's like I live on the outskirts of Brampton and Mississauga, and then you go to Mississauga, and then you're like in Georgetown and stuff. And then they have the St. George flag there. A couple pubs and whatever have it. And at first I was like, "What is this flag?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." And like, yeah, it was used in the Crusades, but like, more to the point, like, if you're gonna have people who are intimidated by stuff. Okay, I know that like I keep getting off topic, but isn't it kind of funny how like you get intimidated by the Crusades, but why were the Crusades necessary? Weren't there like a bunch of people running around raping up white girls, kind of like they are right now? Yeah. Huh. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. Like the Turkish slave trade, everyone was talking about that shit. They're always talking about, oh, the white slaves, the white one, the white children, the white, whatever, the eyes, the everything. They were always fucking, fawn over that, and even to this day, like, you still have their like fucking fetishization of the white people and shit. And you know what the craziest part about it is? Like, you kind of get this idea that like some of these like in their own race didn't necessarily measure up to this. Like I said, like we all have to measure up to this unfair beauty standard, guys and girls, right? But like when it comes to white people, and like maybe I don't understand the nuance of it, but like amongst other white people, like there's fierce competition because you're competing for like the king of the hill, top of the fucking food chain, if you will, economically speaking and socially speaking. And even though people don't want to fucking acknowledge that, like think about it like this, right? The way I talk, my vernacular, my interests in life, even like my hobby playing video games is very much a Caucasian, European, Eurocentric, Japanese, Eastern Asian centric type of thing. Like no other culture has this. Like real talk. And like it actually kind of bothers me. Like I saw this one. I love Aston Golf for like the fact that like he gives people a chance even though he should. He was like doing this like react to like a trailer of this like Indian game, and it had like this like famous Indian actor. Well, he's an actual actor. Like this was a guy before the whole um, his name is Amitabh Bachchan. This was before the whole audio dubbing thing, so people actually used their own voice. He used his own voice. I think he actually sung in all that shit too, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. Like the whole thing with Bollywood is just like it used to be good or not. I don't know. But and he's just like reading this game, and it's like, yeah, the storyline is gripping. The cutscenes are great, and then the gameplay is just why? Like, haven't you played video? Well, then, like, yeah, no, probably not, eh? Probably not to the point where like it's not just like the white man and his video game or the East Asian man and his video games. Although to be honest, I don't think the East Asian man video games for everybody. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like sometimes East Asian video games are just too like in their own world and stuff. Like I don't think people will ever be able to appreciate Monster Hunter Wilds until you take in mushrooms. And I know that's like a really fucking stupid disclaimer to make, but it's just like whatever, man. Like trust me on that one. But more to the topic, right? Like we're dealing with like cultures all around the world that like are basically coming to like the table specifically at like the behest of like these older generations scared of like defaulting on like the youngsters or whatever, like there's no money for them and or whatever and shit because they took all the money, which they are. Let's make no mistake, like social insurance and all that shit, as much as they feel as if they deserve it or they're owed it, is an unreasonably large amount of money that won't be around for your kids. So what I'm telling you right now, you should listen to. Okay, the amount of money you're going to retire with, on average, is going to be significantly higher than what your kids are going to be retiring with, on average. On average, there's going to be exceptions to the rules, obviously, but vast majority of people are going to see a huge decline in life. And I call this the urbanization or the citification. I don't know, let's just call it the urbanization of culture and shit, right? Where you go from, your rural and your suburbs into like, these very cramped, you know, economically viable, but not like, privacy or whatever. They don't have the best hygiene or whatever the fuck. Like on average, it's just going to be people piling in with each other, and the more you pile in people, the more sick they're going to get, the more diseases they're going to bring around, and the quality of life is going to lessen. And you see, the reason why this works in Asian countries is because they share the same gene pool. So like, even if they get sick, their immunities will eventually like fight it off, and they'll bounce back from it, right? Whereas you get a bunch of people from all around the world, and it's like you get that one guy from like this remote village, and it's just like, where did he come from again? And everyone's just getting sick and dying and shit. And then of all the people who are like left, you get like 20% of the population and shit. And yeah, they're immune to the disease, but what about the fucking other 80%? You know what I mean? And the worst part about it is, they know. Now, people won't shut up about Henry Novak. And in fact, I don't think anybody should. Because it's like, the fact that like even his father at the hearing and like after the trial and shit is just like making up excuses for like the Sikh community and like this and that and the disgrace and like whatever. It's like, nah, dog. Just, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong, dude. I was attracted to girls and I was wrong. Those kinds of girls, I was wrong, right? I thought that they can care about me, they can love me and shit. No, it's just like this soulless transaction where, you know, and people will hate me for saying this, but like the people who popped that girl's cherry, the girl's Zeke's Packy's cherry, oftentimes will probably be their family members. I'll say that without even like batting a lash. Like it's just nothing to me. Like people will be like, this is the most vile ass shit that you can say, especially without no evidence to back it up. And I'm like, I don't even think I need evidence because it's like, would I want that? Would I want a zero sum game? Like if me being right is just there to satisfy you, but what else does it serve a purpose of? Like, nothing. So like I'm right, and even if I'm wrong, I'm right. And if I'm right, I'm wrong. That makes sense, doesn't it? But here we are, right? Like the fact that like you had the cops helping out in the murder of a man, where they not only on like the books, it's against the law. Any fucking form of weapon, like a baseball bat, brass knuckles. Fuck you. You know what? Just get steel toe shoes. The fuck it. Fuck it, dude. If I could ever make a suggestion to you, I don't want you to fucking die on your goddamn knees and shit. Just get steel toe shoes, man. All right. Fucking let's see them ban that shit. Fucking retards. Get them on the fucking pop their fucking kneecaps, and when their fucking heads on the ground, turn them into a fucking melon, man. Whether it's fucking pedophiles, whether it's dirty ass cops and shit, you see some guy getting fucking cuffed and shit, he's bleeding out. And like, that's like one of those things where he was surrounded by like people trying to like prevent it from coming out, like the truth coming out and shit. And he's just like, oh, I can't breathe. I've been stabbed. I can't breathe. Yeah. And we all know the reason why this happens, right? Like beyond the whole possible robbery, beyond the whole altercation, it's the fact that like these Sikh mans, right? They want to rape up them white girls, and some of the white girls, some of these like liberal cucktars are giving them a green light, and I have nothing against that because guess what? You're gonna get replaced. Your kids are gonna come out looking like fucking retards and shit, right? Because you don't understand action, reaction, cause, and effect. Like the laws of thermodynamics is wasted upon you in genetics, pretty much everything else. So your kids are gonna be coming out with these round faced retards and shit, and then everyone's gonna be hating on them. Everybody. Because it's like, how are we supposed to live our lives where a bunch of people are running around with weapons who are not only capable of killing you with them, but will have their entire families. And I spoke about this so much at length, and this is probably one of the reasons why they banned my Twitter. You have entire families covering up the grooming gangs. Like in the Huddersfield grooming gang, right? I forget his name. Fuck, the fucking Sikh leader and shit. He had his own family as he was raping a white girl. He had his own kids, his own wife, and he was still raping the white girl. Much like those Toronto police went to Spain to gang rape a prostitute. Much like the only way an ugly guy like those Pakistani brothers who got like let off the charges or whatever. I think they're probably still gonna get charged and shit. They're just trying to not incite a riot or some shit like that because of like how like just weak and pathetic they are against these fucking retard ass Muslims. You just fucking gun them the fuck down. Like if they want to act as if they're gonna take over and threaten you and this and that, just pull out a gun and blast them. Fuck that. And if anybody's getting in your way to do about doing that, then they're your enemy. It's as simple as. It's like, how are you gonna have a bunch of people talking about like raping up your women, taking over your country, getting kids, little ass kids, to come into your fucking mosques, and yo, I'll show you how we pray. See, you get down on your knees and then you bow down to the Epstein cube. Oh, you can't, yo, you thought I was gonna let that shit go, eh? You thought I was gonna let that shit go, huh? So your holiest symbol was turned into a carpet by Jeffrey Epstein, and the Saudi Arabians allowed him to do that. That is how much of a cult ass joke your religion is, right? And you created the Sikhs. Make no mistake, you created the Sikhs. So, like, we're seeing this next thing, and I thought it was just like this, a bunch of people actually dressing up and pretending to be Arab. No, apparently like they're Houthis, and they have like this long skirt ass dress or whatever, and they have this knife, which is like some like it's like how their dick looks after like they get it like broken in a fucking sprain or some shit like that. I jerked off too much and now it looks like this. Let's turn that into a knife. It's the perfect symbol for our frustrations and shit. And it's like, yo, we gotta carry these knives because it's like a religious symbol. It's our way of life to carry the knife. The possibility, the capability of not only defending myself against a 5 year old the age gap being 5 years. It's like, how does that not register in that guy? Like, he's not that like that old and shit. It's because of the height, dude. It's because of like all that inbreeding and shit, and then like he gets shot out and he looks like that. Like I said, he looks the way he does. See his ugly ass mom and shit. Looks like a man. His brother is fucking like it's a fucking entire race of retards, man. And like, yo, they got a lot of help, dude. Like the retards have help from other rapists who wants to go after good-looking people for the sake of good-looking people. And much like guys have to wonder about like, other guys or other people wanting to like, get rid of their face or get rid of the ability for them to have beauty. Like there's also the fact that like girls are going through, well, they've always went through that. We just you're I guess I was ignorant to acknowledge it, or maybe I did and like it was in passing. The way I see it is like we're living in a very very ass jealous world, like people want so much, and we all know the reason why. It's because the consumerism plus like the idea that the internet and like the information from outside of your nation, your country, your access is going to enlighten you when all it does, at least for like a lot of people, is corrupt them. And I think that it doesn't go away. Like it's going to be like a generational thing where people have dreams about being white. They're like, oh shit, man. All the white girls like me. I'm tall, handsome. I'm like, literate. Yo, you imagine? You kill a man who like not only probably graduated from high school when he where like this fucking Vikram did it. And dumbass family jumping in and shit. Like can you imagine him asking his family to help him with homework? Oh fuck. And you see this like kid, he was like, I'm sorry for calling him a kid because he's deceased and he was like basically right before he became a man and shit. But it's like, you know, the contrast is so stark that I kind of know how this went down. Like he most likely was approached and like asked him like what does he have in his pockets, and then he pulls out the phone. And when he pulls out the phone, everybody wants to change the story, right? But that doesn't even get into like the most darkest and like evil aspect about this shit is that Vikram actually filmed Henry like running away as he like knifed him and shit. And there's video of that. And when the judge saw that, like that's why he basically said, "Yo, you're gonna get a mandatory fucking sentence." So I want you all to like see how this is gonna go down. Vikram is going to have the hardest time in prison ever. Okay? Because he's Sikh, right? The Muslims, I don't necessarily think they want to protect him. Like they're gonna say, like, look, either you convert to Islam or we want nothing to do with you. Right? And the Sikhs, maybe they'll protect him in there, maybe they won't, but there's not enough of them. And his ass is going to be jumped on like a fucking trampoline by the entire fucking cell block. Well, anybody who's open to that. Some people will just come into a cell and throw him a fucking beating. Because if there's one thing you can't do behind bars is be cozy with the cops like that. Because it's like you know what I mean? Like most people out in the bin and shit, right? In the Penitang. He's going to Penitang, by the way. Um they don't fuck around like that. Like if you're cool with the cops like that, they will fucking smash your fucking face. He's gonna get fucking raped on a fucking daily basis. His mom is gonna be like, crying over the phone on the other side, watching her son just like melt from black eyes to broken teeth. His turban doesn't even fit on his head because his head's all fucking misshapen and shit. His fucking hands, his fucking everything. And it's day after day, daily rapes daily raping. It's honestly ironic how like these fuckers want to go out of their way to like rape, gang rape, groom young girls specifically, but women in general, right? And this is how it ends for Vikram. Vikram Digwa is going to get raped. His Sikh ass is going to get spread and raped on a daily basis, like the bitch ass packy rat that he is. And he's gonna cry for his mommy, except this time his mommy can't help. In fact, the more he cries to his mommy, the more they're gonna rape him, the more they're gonna laugh about it. Actually, they're just gonna keep raping him. Like, it's just gonna be a daily thing. You fucking dumbass. Like, oh, I like, here's the thing. Like, do people actually know that's a thing? Like, when I'm telling you this, it makes sense, but did you actually think about that?